Hi, everybody. Charles Meade with you again, and I'm joined today by Sea Scout Ship 911 Skipper Dave Aronson. And Dave is we're gonna talk a little bit about some of the challenges that folks have been giving us feedback on regarding how you keep your unit meeting virtually, how you keep it moving. First, though, we have to extend congratulations, Ship 911, for the 6th year in a row, a member of Sea Scouts USA's national flagship fleet. Dave, that's tremendous. Is there sort of a secret sauce in how you all keep the ball rolling and keep that level of program so high?
I think the only secret sauce is letting the kids do what they want to do, and rather than doing everything the same year, we let them choose what they want to do, so they're interactive and wanting to do it.
Fair enough. Well, so our main reason for talking today here, Ship 911, you were telling me, is meeting as many as 4 times a week virtually, and then there's sometimes outside activity that scouts are doing individually, either working on sailing skills or whatever the case may be, where scouts are co-registered. There may be doing merit badges and the like. I think one of the things that I wanted to pick your brain a little bit on is this idea of a Zoom meeting after a while gets to be very passive. What are some of the things that you all are trying to do to keep those meetings as active, as participatory as they can be?
I think part of the key is that they need to be very specific and directed. So the youth pick a particular requirement typically about what they want to do, and rather than it being an hour and a half long meeting, it's a shorter 30-minute meeting. And the kids present, they ask questions. We have adult expert consultants that go through and will ask specific questions or kind of help drive that conversation. But the youth tend to go through and really interact and drive it themselves. And what we end up having is a really core set of youth that really are busy doing things and planning things. And at the end of every meeting, they choose what they want to work on next and who's going to present next. And so it's not, rather than a leader saying, we're going to go off and do this requirement, they choose what requirement they want to work on. And it's while you're doing the presentation, it's not giving the full presentation, it's stopping and asking questions and making sure everybody's doing it, doing online quizzes, going through down the list and saying, what's your answer to this? What's your answer to this? What do you guys think the right thing is? And then you tell them what the answer is, and they, and some of them got it right, some got it wrong, but they all are involved.
So very much for our Scouts BSA troops, venturing crews, as well as obviously at the Sea Scouting level, really reinforcing and remembering that idea of the youth-led program. It can help have them invested in what's going on. And this is an example we've got here from one of the ship's recent meetings where you all were working on some of the advancement from the ordinary rank. But one of the things very interesting too, you all, and this is the image from that, you went and you have touched base with experts, folks who are outside of what would be kind of the normal quote unquote run-of-the-mill advancement. In this case, you were talking with Sea Scouts from Australia. How do you all go about, is there a method to trying to find additional ideas for things to talk about instead of just hammering away at sort of the same old advancement program?
I think it's just kind of an idea. Whoever has an idea. I think the Australia idea, we had a number of scouts that went to Jamboree last year, so they liked that interaction of meeting Sea Scouts from other places. Sea Scouts in general do a lot of things with other ships from the areas rather than necessarily just only their ship. So they kind of already like talking with other people. And when they kind of get an idea about, can we do this? Or maybe an adult sort of says, hey, here's an interesting idea I heard about somebody doing, or we ask the quarterdeck, which is our youth leadership group, and they decide whether or not they want to do it or not. we reached out. Commodore Cook gave me a pointer to a contact in Australia, and within a week we were having a conversation with Sea Scouts from all over different parts of Australia and Tasmania, and it was pretty interesting sharing things we did and things that that they do. It's a radically different program, but its core is the same.
Scouting is scouting, no doubt about it. And for those who don't know the reference, T.W. Cook, one of our volunteers here in Capillary Council, also happens to be the National Sea Scout Commodore, and we're very proud and appreciative of everything he does at the national level, as well as here in our council to try and build sea scouting and scouting in general. Dave, I think those are great examples that hopefully a lot of different people can take advantage of. I guess in wrapping up, the thought seems to be the biggest takeaway is adults in scouting generally want to focus on the youth and have the youth be in a position of leading. And it sounds like if you stick to that, you have a better chance of making these admittedly unusual times work for you, even in this kind of virtual sense.
I agree. And I think that one of the key things that we're learning from it is even after the pandemic ends and we're allowed to do group meetings, is that we'll learn some of these things and continue doing some of these virtual meetings, because you can go through and it's a good mix. There are certainly some things that work better virtually than work better than in person.
Fair enough. Well, Dave Aronson, Ship 911, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.